He's really down and out. So we're gonna go buy him a piece of steak and we're gonna cook it for him. Wait till you see the difference from now and then later. So I just got back from the store for getting Mo some steak. This is what I got him. The 4 little pieces. And I got it for $4.55. And this is chuck beef boneless tender steak. So I'm going to cook him 1 today and put the other 3 in individual Ziploc baggies in the freezer. Mo, look what we got. You happy? Okay, we're gonna make that for you. You happy? Okay guys, so here's the meat we got back from the supermarket from getting Mo some steak. I'm gonna thoroughly cook this, but first I'm gonna wash it off with some vinegar and water, and I'm gonna cook it thoroughly so it's not pink or raw or anything like that, and make sure all the blood is out of it. So I do have some already vinegar and water to wash off the meat with. I see a lot of people feeding their animals, especially if it's a domesticated animal, cat or dogs, they feed them like a raw diet. Now if you already have that, your pet is already domesticated, we shouldn't be feeding them. That's my alarm. We shouldn't be feeding them raw meats because they can end up with a parasite called they can end up with a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And they can get a disease or an infection called Toxoplasmus, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Now, not only cats can get that, but humans can as well. And cats can get that from feeding them uncooked meats, beef, pork, chicken. And it ends up going in their digestive tract, into their fecal matter. And through that, humans can catch that parasite from your own pet. But if you have an indoor cat, you shouldn't be letting that cat outside because they're natural hunters. If they're not going to eat the animal that they're going to catch, like squirrels, birds, little rodents or anything, it's natural for them to have their hunting antennas up to chase. And so they can actually kind of get that parasite through the blood. They could actually be contaminated. They can actually get that parasite from the blood of wild animals. And you know, they're letting your indoor cats come in and out of your house. Even if the cat comes in and out of your house because they go outside to use the bathroom, that fecal matter into the soil that they try to scratch up to cover gets into their feet, into their nails, and then they're coming in your house. And that parasite can live in your environment for months all the way up to a year. I put the paper towel there just to soak up some of the water because I'm gonna fry this for the kitties. Foofy doesn't really eat meat much at all, like chicken or fish. Well, she likes tuna fish, But she doesn't like red meat, she doesn't like chicken, she doesn't like turkey. I mean, she'll eat her cat food, but I try to keep it as natural as possible for them, you know, and weaning them off and giving them as little kibble as possible. So as I was saying, now don't think that you guys, you know, humans, you know, cannot get the same parasite, because you can also get it through uncooked meats yourselves. A lot of people like rare steaks. Sometimes you're not thinking that you're cooking your meats thoroughly and are not cooked thoroughly. You can also get that parasite. You can get that parasite through gardening, you know, the soil, depending on what kind of soil that you're using. Water filtration systems. If fecal matter seeps into the sewage and it's going on your vegetables, in the meat you're eating, you gotta be very careful on how we feed our pets as well as ourselves. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. I'm gonna get the frying pan going with a little bit of olive oil. So you guys can come with me by the stove. So I'm gonna put the gas on medium to low heat. Not low, but medium. I don't want to keep it too low. And I'm gonna use a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of olive oil is okay sometimes for cats, just as long as it's in moderation. And they'll be fine. I don't use any seasonings on this for the cats. I see a lot of people cooking steaks for their cats and their dogs with all of these different seasonings, and that could be detrimental and toxic to their, you know, bodies and their health and their organs. With the toxoplasmas, what that does, if a human gets it, either if it's not through your pet, if you're not taking care of them properly or their food properly, or if you're not taking care of your own diet properly, you can get what you would think is, you know, flu-like symptoms. You know, you could have some kind of eye problems, brain damage, or organ damage, or maybe some swollen lymph nodes. But it could be deadly for yourself and for your animal. So it's just not, you just can't not only contract this from your cat. That's if you're not taking care of their litter box and their diet properly and their overall well-being. But your carelessness can cause you to contract that parasite yourself. I just thought that I should mention that. So we're going to make 2 of these for Ramon. You know, Foofy, she doesn't really eat this that much. Like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, she just likes really tuna. And I don't like to give them fish that much. I mix it in with the food. And like I said, I'm weaning them away from kibble. But they still like kibble. I just give them a little less each week so they don't notice, and introduce more whole foods like I've been doing through time. So anyway, we're going to stop talking now, and we're going to start cooking. Let's see if this is... Okay, this is good. We're just going to put it in there just like that. Cook it for a few minutes on each side. Make sure it's cooked thoroughly through. This should be between 160 and 165 degrees, thoroughly cooked. So I'll have one for today and tomorrow. And the other 2 I put inside 2 little Ziploc baggies. And these are going to go in the freezer for another day. And so I'm going to turn these over. I did put a weight on them because if you notice it's starting to curl, so I'll put another weight back on them and weigh them down so that they're not like curled up like a cup. And then we'll come back and let it rest and then cut it up for them. Okay, so I have the cutting board ready to rest the steaks. This is a cutting board that I mainly use just for mowing foods, you know, chicken, steaks, and things like that, for them to use separate from our cutting boards. Sit, Mo. It's almost ready. You excited? Sit down. I know. You happy? He's very happy. He's getting a piece of red meat cooked thoroughly. Alright, so we're going to let this rest for a few minutes until it cools enough to cut it. And we'll be right back. Get down! Fu is up there waiting patiently because I have some tuna for her. Well, I have tuna for both of them because I know Fu is not going to eat the steak, but I'm going to give her a few little pieces. You want to eat meat? You want steak? You ready? Come on. Hey, Fu. You smell that tuna? So I'm going to put one of them in here for tomorrow for him. I'm going to cut up the other one. Sit down. I got you. He's very excited. Don't touch the tripod, Mo. Leave it alone. Oh, you see? I'm going to leave that in and not edit it. He's very, very excited. No, Mo. Leave it. See, it's thoroughly cooked. No blood, no pink. Small enough for him to chew. I am gonna try Fufi. You know, I always try. Every time I make steak for Mo, I always give Fufi a few pieces just in case if she ever changes her mind. She might take a nibble. She'll smell it, maybe walk away. We'll see what happens. So this is Mo and Fu's food. Mo has mostly the steak. I gave Fu a little bit just to see, but I gave Fu more tuna. This is tuna, rice, and seaweed. And then they get their greens. This is arugula. They like arugula, especially Fufi. They like their greens, so we got to give them their greens in, you know, for their digestion and all the vitamins and minerals and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and give them their food. And